for me is black men who don't like black women tend to have mommy issues. So we gonna listen to her and then we will give our thoughts and opinions on that. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
A man who says, I am turned off and do not like black women, so I date non-black women.
Right.
He has mommy issues.
Okay.
He has an identity crisis because you came from the woman you're saying you dislike. So now we have a deeper rooted issue. I'm not saying that a brother who only dates outside of black women cannot also have mommy issues. But if that's just his preference, then that's different than saying, I don't date because my experience was bad. I don't date because I don't like the way black women show up. I don't date because I don't like the way black women are strong or they talk too much. And I'm not saying those things ain't true for a lot of us, okay? Yes. But what I'm saying is everyone has the right to have their preference. But I do believe that people need to look deep down and say, why is that your preference? Take inventory on that. I know my preference of a man with no kids is because growing up as a little girl, I had to share my father with 6 other siblings.
You want undivided attention.
And I'm not sharing another man in my life.
Damn.
And I'm also not going to put my children in a position to have to share their father with anybody else at all. And I'm going to go even deeper.
What?
When my father passed away, which I'm happy my dad did, it so perfect, right? His life insurance went split up amongst his babies.
Yeah.
Now, I love that because I love my babies. I'm the oldest of 7. Those are all my babies.
Right.
Okay. And if he would have gave it all to me, I would have split it with everybody anyway.
Right.
But I'm happy he did it on his own. But my point in saying that is when a man or a woman gets with somebody who has other offsprings and kids, you have to not only think about the relationship presently, but also in the exit strategy. So my kids do have to split things. My kids are being born into a deficit because guess what? You won't be able to be present every day with my child if you are going to be a father to those children. And when Christmas comes or holidays come or school comes or God forbid something happens to your other children, like an emergency, what if our kids have an emergency at the same time? Who do you choose? What happens? Do I show up as a single mother in that moment because dad has to be here? How do I explain that to our babies?
I understand the sentiment, right? And I definitely agree with the aspect of, yeah, you don't need to be making babies over there while you got a kid and a family over here. I 110% understand that. But considering the type of woman that you are, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, you want a man that's on his level. You want a man that's a high value, high functioning man. So that means this high value, high functioning man still probably not going to be as much around as you think he is going to be, right? Because you are selfish, and rightfully so. You are selfish. I get that. But I want to touch back on her first statement. Real quick. In regards to if a man dates outside of his race because he came out of a black woman. What is up with black women using that as a reason as to why, or the internal deepness of why a man dates outside of his race? Well, your mom is black and you came out of her, so what? That's my mom, bro. I don't look at my mom the same way I will look at a chick that I'm busting down. That's not the same thing. It is not. It does not work like that. I need y'all to get out of that mind frame. I don't look at that the same. I don't. That's just like saying, yo, you came out of your daddy's balls, so all of your best friends, all of your best male friends should be black. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how dumb that sounds? So you got to stop using it. You have to stop using that. All right? So let's move on.
And why do I have to? And I won't have to if I choose a man who I know can be present. Because being present is being in my house, in our house, in our children's home. Taking them to school, waking up in the morning, them seeing you with the good morning, our son being able to watch how you process your emotions as a man, watch how you interact with me as a man, watch how you sit with your legs like that, watch how when the game is on, you sit and watch it in a certain statue, watch how you yell at the TV the way you do what you do. I yell at the TV when I watch football, and I am a football head because my grandfather and my father were football men. So we would sit and watch football nonstop. I'm calling pick six all day. I'm calling flag on the play. PI, come on, ref. That's me.
Right.
other women don't watch it like that.
Correct.
Because how did I learn it? By watching the men in my house, by being the only girl for so long.
Kids are very observant.
So my thing is, and I'll wrap on this, is it's not that people with kids, multiple folks, are doomed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different way that they have to parent. Okay. And whether you parent perfectly, not perfectly, but you parent at your best or not, those kids are still going to be in a deficit. And I want to say this part too, because a present parent can also present trauma. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to make it seem like because if you're in the household, you're not presenting trauma.
Right.
Because it's also sometimes a parent or a couple that decides not being together will create a more peaceful, healthy environment for the kids and us is the better decision.
Yes.
So I'm not condoning or advocating for people to stay together in traumatized out, dysfunctional, abusive relationships where they're creating now not just a broken home, but a broken family, because those are two different things.
Well, make sure you really define what that dysfunctioning is, because a lot of y'all use that as a broad blanket term, a blanket phrase, and you're not really expounding on what it actually means to be in a trauma-filled relationship. So just to give a little context behind that, and this is coming from me in this aspect, putting your hands on each other, that's a huge no-no. If a man puts his hands on a woman, yes, that is rights to leave the house. I understand that. If there's a sense where you guys cannot communicate effectively, so you're literally, like y'all like to use, verbally abusing each other, you're coming at each other heavily, you talking shit about each other, you're talking down about each other in front of the children, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're going above and beyond, talking down to the man, and he's talking down to you. That's a toxic environment. Anything else outside of that, that can be fixed. I 110% believe it can be fixed. And also putting your hands on the kids. Of course, you don't put your hands on the kids at all. Only if you sparing the rod on their behind. That's it. Other than that, don't put your hands on that kid for what reason. You ain't got no reason to put your hands on them. There's so many different ways of disciplining the kid. Physical activity, spare the rod on the behind only. And yeah, having a conversation, sitting down, having a talk with them, or taking away certain things, or you can do all three. Right? So yes, there are some non-negotiables in a situation that you just got to get up out of there and those are the things that I named. Everything else, it can be worked on. Everything else, you can sit down and have a conversation. Everything else can be fixed. That's 110%. You just got to get out of your own way. Simple as that.
Things, right? I'm saying you got to do what's best. But if you make decisions at the very beginning that are good, then you are able to date better, marry better, mm-hmm. parent better, and you do get kids, even if they choose to detour off, like the Bible says, who have the tools to be better. And that's all that I'm pushing for our community. I'm not pushing that people who are baby mamas or baby daddies to beat themselves up and say they're doomed. That's not what it is. But what I am saying, damn it, is now today, make a better decision.
Right.
Do something different. Show your kids that there's a different way to do it. And, let's teach folks to get out there and figure out the sense of self, so our divorce rate isn't so high. Mm-hmm. And let's figure out, Shannon, how we can do more than just make good love and have a drink together. Like, how come we can't have better conversations together? We don't have to be romantic to have good, intellectual, emotionally intelligent conversations. We don't have to have gender wars. Because
I agree. I 110% agree with that aspect. Yeah. But I also understand what's good with it, my boy. What's good with it? I also do understand that there are a lot of conversations that have to be had up front, though. See, that's the problem. You're right. A lot of people think it's just about, we're going to have a couple of drinks. We going to laugh, ha, keying it up. And after that, we go bust it down. That's it. But you have yet to have the hard conversations up front. And so now you think just because this guy or this woman said a bunch of sweet nothings to you, and that's it. No, oh, I really rock with this person. They chill, they lay back, but you don't know what kind of trauma they done been through. You don't know who they done dealt with before. You don't know what their past is like. You don't know what their relationship is with their parents or their family. You don't know what their goals are in life. You don't know if they want to have a family in life. You don't know how they respond to situations when it's a situation where you're backed up against the wall. You don't know how they respond to them. You don't know when there's a discussion going on and there's a disagreement, you don't know if they're the ones that pop their lid off and they go off the top, or they're real calm and collected in the conversation. They hear you out, then they can respond effectively. All of these different things that y'all do not talk about, but y'all so quick to jump into these relationships. Now all of a sudden, because y'all hear it all the time. Oh, everybody changed when it first started. I didn't know he was like this. He was telling me all of this, and you believed it. You didn't ask no questions. You didn't ask probing questions. You didn't ask the hard questions at all. He didn't switch up on you. You just failed to see the red flags. I seen a video the other day, and there's a shorty. She was saying the same exact thing. She said, man, I literally was dating this guy. Matter of fact, I might be able to find it. I was dating this guy. She said they were friends for a while. Then they decided to start dating. They were friends for like 6 months or so, 6 to 9 months. She already saw the red flags in him, but she still decided to start dating this man because she thought that, you know what, maybe it might change. With the hopes, not the potential, with the hope that it would change. And it never did. So 3 months into the relationship, she had to dip. And this is what a lot of women do on the bigger scale. You're with this man for years on, with this hope that he's going to change, knowing damn well he already presented who he actually was up front, but you decided to ignore because he was giving you some of that good D, pause. And now you stuck, and now you up here blaming men, talking about, oh, well, these men ain't shit. These men be manipulating us. I don't want to hear that. They show the red flags up front. You just choose to still deal with these niggas. That's a fact. Bro, let's watch this lady lie together.
Because we don't agree on it.
For real, bro. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. That's Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That's Dr. Cheyenne Bryant for you. But on this clip only, she made some valid points. I would give her that. Because typically she be off the rocker. A couple of them she made some good points. The only point that one of the main points that I disagree with is the first part. So I'll rewind the best so you can hear it.
A man who says, I am turned off and do not like Black women, so I date non-Black women.
Right.
He has mommy issues.
That part right there, I disagree with that. I disagree. But let me let her cook a little more.
Okay. He has an identity crisis because you came from the woman you're saying you dislike. So now we have a deeper rooted issue. I'm not saying that a brother who only dates outside of Black women cannot also have mommy issues. But if that's just his preference, then that's different than saying, I don't date because my experience was bad. I don't date because I don't like the way Black women show up. I don't date because I don't like the way Black women are strong or they talk too much. And I'm not saying those things ain't true for a lot of us, okay? Yes. But what I'm saying is everyone has the right to have their preference. But I do believe that people need to look deep down and say, why is that your preference?
Because that's probably, it could be proximity. It can be because the way that they actually move. Or it could have been the actual experience of him trying to date these said women, and that's what he was getting. He's like, listen, bro, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going to places where I'm tolerated. I want to go where I'm celebrated. So he seems to get more, he may seem to get more traction in the white community or in the Hispanic community or in the Asian community or Korean community or whatever the case may be, wherever he is celebrated at, that's where he gonna be at. Let him rock out. It's all this deep internal bullshit that y'all be talking about today. It ain't even that deep sometimes. Let's keep it a buck. Men are really simple. We really are. It ain't that deep, bro. It's really not. Like, listen, man. If you live in a certain area, like, man, I promise you, bro, everywhere I go, I'm always seeing these ratchet bitches, bro. I swear to God. And ratchet bitches, again, I always say this. ratchet does not subject to the black community only. That could be the white community, black community, Asian community, Hispanic community, all of that shit ratchet. There's ratchet people in every single race. So I'm not subjecting this to black people, right? But being in certain areas, like, man, I'm tired of these goofy ass, ratchet ass bitches over here, bro. They ain't about shit. These hoes toxic as fuck. They up here, you know, they ain't shit over here, bro. Where are the women that, the wholesome women who about they shit, who about family, who about relationships, who really ain't out here on no bullshit, bro, who out of the mix? Where they at? So when they find these women, they go over there and they realizing that these women are receptive to him. So he's like, shit, I like it over here. Like, I don't got to do all that extra shit over there. They ain't telling me I need to pay $500 just to get their phone number. They ain't telling me that I need to take them to whatever expensive restaurant out of the state 44 when you talk about Arizona, some shit like that. Like, bro, I'm in my area. These people are celebrating me. It's like I got a plethora of them, nigga. It's an abundance of them over here, and they rocking out with me. So I'm going to stay over here because I'm celebrated over here. Because if I go over there, they only going to tolerate me, if that. So no, it's not that deep-rooted issue talking about your mama and shit. Like, bro, my mama ain't got nothing to do with this. My mama ain't got nothing to do with this. My mama living her own fucking life. She got her own shit going on. It ain't got shit to do with me, bro. So I hate when women do that. I really do. I hate when they do that. She making points, but we know she grifting. She don't even believe it. Yeah, you know. She be back and forth sometimes. She really do. She really do be back and forth. That's a fact. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Let me know. Do you think that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was cooking? Did she make some great points? Was I off? Who knows? But